Virtual community, we talk today about mistakes.
Your screen carefully.
Oh, okay.
What did I miss?
And Bonnie Crane. Hi, Bonnie Crane in Las Vegas. Bonnie Crane is not on our screen here. Bonnie is in Las Vegas, and she's only on Facebook. And I'm making a deal, Bonnie. Anyone who moves over from Facebook to the Zoom room using the chat above gets a Declare It Yourself kosher kit. It has how to determine if foods are kosher and how it works. Has a handy flow chart on the back that lets you know how to decide if something is kosher or not. And I was going to bring this to the rabbis convention, but the coronavirus has kept me from making an ass of myself. So I'm not bringing this to the rabbis conventions. I thought it's pretty brilliant. And it has stickers. So you can put it on. I made these years ago, and I'm just bringing them back. My friend Eric brought Twinkies to a Passover Seder, and he put a sticker on it, said, "It's kosher according to me, personal autonomy, woot woot." So if Bonnie Crane or anyone else on Facebook moves over, and then you're welcome to a Declare It Yourself kosher kit. I'm going to calm my voice down because I get so excited to see people. I'm like a puppy. Also, speaking of puppies,
Hi,
my
Brian.
kids. Hi, who is that? Hi, Aaron. Hi, Betsy Ann. Speaking of puppies, my children have been begging me for a puppy for a long while. And I said to them, no. I said, you are not getting a puppy. And then, because I knew I was going to be the only one taking care of it, because I work from out of the house most of the time. But then I'm like, we're on lockdown. So we're getting a puppy today.
Awesome.
Because like they're stuck here anyway. No one's going anywhere.
What kind of a
time.
puppy?
Say again?
What kind of a puppy?
It is a mix Shih Tzu, Chihuahua, Dachshund.
Oh,
One of them big ones.
It's a little,
Little shrimpy dog.
it's a small dog, and we're naming it after a very big, buff neighbor of ours. So we're naming the dog Dave Pedersen because he's a neighbor, and we thought it was funny. He thinks it's funny too, which is good. Oh, hi, Marilyn.
Not to mention a yappy dog.
Hi, I've come to claim my kosher kit.
Oh, you did. God bless you. You win. Marilyn, send me an email with your address, and I will send you the Declare It Yourself kosher kit. You win.
Thank you.
And Ron Werner Jr., you have joined on the Facebook group. So you can see that we're interacting live over here, and we'd like to invite you to join us as well. Stephanie said she had to leave. Other people said this is all good. We'll start in a few minutes. I got a new outline for us today. Anyone have big plans this weekend? That's a joke.
I'm going to stay home.
Anyone's going to, like, I don't know, redo a closet or something really exciting?
I'm going to reorganize my entire apartment.
That's a big job, Marilyn.
I'm cleaning out the barn.
Cleaning out the barn. I got a few people still watching live on Facebook. Kim Saney is joined on Facebook. Kim, there's a prize if you move over from Facebook to the Zoom room. You can claim your own Declare It Yourself kosher kit. My sister just said, are you sending a reminder? Folks, did you get a reminder from me?
I did.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so
Just
I'm going to have to tell my sister. So my sister logged into Zoom yesterday and said, Brian, I don't understand it. Somebody else is controlling your room. And I said, yeah, I know. It's Jonathan Lax. I'm going to shoot him. But it wasn't Jonathan Lax. It was a guy named Ron Werner. And she sent me a screenshot. And she had just joined the wrong room. She joined somebody else's room. So. Okay, we're getting this together here. I have a little delay on the line. Yes, she's going to try Zoom again, says my sister. I'm going to send her the link because it's my sister. She gets special. Invite
Thanks, dude.
Hey, dude, you're here. Okay, you made it. I just told them about yesterday and how you thought somebody else had taken over my meeting.
I did. I
Yeah.
was very disturbed by that. Yes, I'm glad
Yeah.
that's not the case.
That's not the case. Good. Well, we got we have a spacious minute until we begin. I don't think I've told this group about that. Hold on. I'm going to mute some people because it's a little loud in the background. There's we're at 11 o'clock, so we can start. I'll just start with this little story. So I was at a workshop once, and I was on the staff of it, and there was another member of the staff, and I said, "Oh, we got to hurry up. We only have 5 minutes. We only have 5 minutes." And this woman very calmly said, "Rabbi, we have a spacious 5 minutes."
Yeah.
And she was right, and I wanted to punch her in the throat at the same time. But
Can I ask a question?
yeah, Marilyn.
Sorry to interrupt you, but
Sorry.
if it's typing in the rest of my address, but if I push enter or I push space, it erases it. What am I supposed to push to accept the suggestion?
I don't know the answer to that, Marilyn.
Maybe Sari does?
Yeah, maybe my sister knows the answer to that. Marilyn, send me an email with your address, and I'll send you the kosher.
Yeah, that's what I was doing, and it was typing in my whole address when I started to type it. But when I click enter, it would erase what it suggested. So I don't know how to make it stay.
I don't know. Well, then when the quarantine ends, I'll hand you one of these kosher kits.
What I do is take my cursor to the end of the statement and then do enter.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'm muting all the people who are on video, who are not on video. I'm muting you. I know that you're here, and I'm glad that you're here. And so, hi, welcome. Glad you guys are all here. This is the 5th one of these virtual community meetings that we've had, and I'm super glad to see people who are here.
Will there be any next week?
There might be one of these next week. I'd like us to talk about that. Definitely possible. I would like to do that, and let's all figure that out.
If you don't,
Let's just figure that out right now. Anyone want to do this next week?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, there's the answer. We're going to do this next week then, Marilyn.
Let's pick a day, maybe.
I say that again, Aaron?
Pick a day.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday?
Yeah, I don't think we should do, unless everyone wants to do all of next week, I don't think I can do that, but.
Okay, how about this? I'll do it every day next week, and if you want to show up, you can.
All right, well, I don't have a choice right now because my job, I'm temporarily laid off for
sorry to hear
for the
that.
virus. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, so this is not required, right? Everyone knows this is not required. This is religion outside the box. There's no there's no promise of a better room in the world to come because you're showing up to this.
We don't get a star in our crown or anything like that.
You do get a star in your file.
Oh, okay.
Yeehaw.
I think it's Friday. I taught high school for a lot of years, and on Fridays there was this exact same kind of like stir crazy that goes on. Oh, and I see Aaron and Javier have joined, and Carolina have all joined on the Facebook. Please move over to the other room. I'm going to close up. Oh, I can keep all these windows open. That's fine. Okay, hold on one second, my friends. Okay.
Hi, Rabbi.
Oh, hi, Ruth. Glad to see you're here again. Wonderful. So I want to ask, we're going to start with some questions. Let me start with taking a little breath of air. And let me start with, I will be muting you as necessary because sometimes you guys have sound in the background that you don't notice. So I mute you from time to time. Other things to know, Joe, say hi, wave to the people. There's Joe. Joe is moderating the chat. She does a fantastic job of doing so. So I don't watch the chat while we're doing this because I'm trying to interact with you live. If something's going on in the chat that Joe thinks I should know, she has full authorization to interrupt me and let me know what's going on in the chat. Other things to know above my head, either this way or this way. If you're on a computer or if you're on a tablet, you're going to want to swipe right or left. You can see different views. You can play with different views. And then my second cousin once removed, Amy, I'll spotlight her for a second. She figured out how to do virtual backgrounds.
Ooh.
She's awesome.
Oh, wow.
You don't need to be doing that. That's just for fun. Okay, so let me. Hi, this is me. Let me start with some questions for you guys, just to get us started. I'm going to cancel that. By a show of hands, who has been on this Zoom call, one of these calls, virtual community? Who has been on one of these? This is their second time being on this. Who's been on this more than 2 times? Who's been on this 3 times, 4 times? Who's been here every day of the week with me? Okay, that's fantastic. Who, okay, put your hands down. Very good. Who is Zooming in from the furthest?
New Hampshire.
Well, it's kind of a trick question because there's no furthest. This is like, the furthest from where? I guess furthest from me, but that's a goofy question. Let me move on to the next one. Who is this their first time ever being on Zoom? Who's never been on Zoom before? Deborah, you've never been on Zoom? Hi, welcome. Glad you're there. Rob, you're a 5-time person. We've seen you every day this week. Glad you're here.
It's my first time on Zoom all week.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Good for you. You win. Who has who by a show of hands has been live with me in like physical person where we've hugged or touched, where we actually have seen each other? A whole bunch of people. That's fantastic. I'm going to tell those of you who haven't seen me live in person, I'm a little taller than you're thinking I am. I thought that was much funnier when I wrote that down.
It was.
Thank you, Rob, for being a straight man there.
Yes.
A little bit later, we're going to be talking about, I had picked the topic of mistakes. I'm going to ask you, who has some paper nearby them? Who has some paper and a pen near them? That's not required, but in a little bit, I am going to ask you to write some things down. So if you can find some paper and a pen or a pencil, that will be great. Our topic today is supposed to be about mistakes. And we will talk about mistakes, but I wanted to give just a moment to talk about Religion Outside the Box, this organization that I'm part of, that I'm the executive director of, and what the mission is. And we've been, and Rob, keep me honest, and I know you will, I don't think we've been proselytizing. I don't think we've used the word religion very much. We haven't used the God word in a serious sense. Am I being honest here?
Honest, yes.
Okay, so the idea of religion outside the box and what the mission is to say we can do a lot of these qualities of religion without having to do particularism. I kind of break out in hives this notion of we're a team. Like, I think if there's a God, that God would look down and go, you made teams? Wait, why'd you make teams? Like, I don't get the teams thing. And just so you have a little bit of background, I was ordained as a rabbi. I worked as a rabbi for a number of years. And then when I figured out this teams thing didn't work for me, I left organized religion. I became a high school mathematics teacher. I taught high school math to disadvantaged kids in Los Angeles and Portland. And that's where I really learned how to become a teacher. And I became a better rabbi in the classroom than I felt I ever was when I was at the synagogue. And my calling has moved me along to really help people who are digital age seekers, people who are looking for religion without the baggage.
Brian, where did you teach in Portland?
In Portland, I taught at De La Salle North Catholic High School.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, which was a trip because it was a Catholic high school and I did not speak Catholic at all. And it's a whole different culture. It was just a very different culture. And
we all speak Catholic.
say that again.
We all speak Catholic.
Catholic with the lowercase c to mean universal, yes.
Yes.
But Catholic, like within the culture, I didn't understand Catholic culture, and I made a bunch of faux pas.
Good for you.
Good
Do you
for
know
you.
Joe Culbertson?
Say that again, Marilyn.
Do you know Joe Culbertson?
I can't think of that name. No.
Okay.
So religion outside the box, the goal of it is to push people towards virtues, to push people towards living better lives. And we did that this week. So we started this week with the topic of, who remembers what our topic was on Monday?
Patience.
We did patience on Monday. And on Tuesday, we looked at acceptance. And I love that different people are answering. And then Wednesday, we looked at
forgiveness.
We looked at forgiveness. And then Thursday, what did we look at Thursday?
Meditation.
We looked at meditation. And guys, I had so much fun. I was flying high. I thought that was so much fun, that book reading. And those of you who want a book, I'm down to 10 copies left. So if you want to purchase a copy of Meditation is Magic and have this guy write a little thing to you, if you go to rotb.org, you can have one of the last 10 copies because Amazon ain't shipping right now. So we're looking at patience, we're looking at forgiveness, acceptance, humor. Oh, also, and I don't really like plugging stuff very much, but I do have a mini course about patience, and it's pretty good. It talks a lot about the things we did, and it has some exercises to help you cultivate patience. But I'm going to ask you all to do this. The goal as I see it is for us to find a way, and this is the goal of religion, my understanding of the goal of religion is to help us find a sense of peace. That religion oughtn't shackle us or limit us in our coming to an understanding of reality, but that religion done right. Oh, we got a lot of noise coming off of you, Janice. I just muted you for a second. That religion done right shouldn't shackle us and limit us, but religion done right should set us free. That religion done right should be something that helps us find peace with what is, to find peace with who we are. That being said, I'm going to ask everyone, yesterday we did Where's Everybody From when we went around the whole grid. And I'm going to ask you today to do something a little bit different. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to unmute you, and I'm going to ask you to think of if you could come up with one virtue that you would wish upon the entire group. What would that be? So what would be one word that you would like to wish upon the entire group? And if you have paper and pen, you might want to make a note of that. And then when people are saying them, I'd love you to collect 4 or 5 words, 4 or 5 virtues that you want, that you think are great virtues. So I'm going to start, Ann Elliott. Do you mind starting for us?
No.
So if you had magic wand, a magic, and you could, bam, give everyone here a virtue, a blessing of something, what would that be?
I think it would be joy.
Rabbi Brian.
It would be joy. Okay, hold on a second. Somebody's paging me. Yes.
Sorry, I was unmuted. Sorry,
Oh.
Rabbi.
Hi, Jen.
Hi.
Okay, well, that was fun. Okay, you're muting yourself again. I know Jen. That was Anne, who I think, there you are. You moved on my screen for a moment. So you would wish everybody joy. That's a beautiful one. And here's a tradition in Hebrew, in Jewish prayer. If somebody says a prayer, here's a great technicality for you. If somebody says a whole prayer and you say amen, Jewish tradition says that you get full credit for having said that prayer, which is why if you go into traditional houses of worship, you'll see like there are 6 people praying out loud and everyone else is kind of chatting to each other, and every so often they say amen, and you get full credit that way, which is kind of cool. The
Amen.
trick is you have to know when to say amen to get the full credit. So you have to be like a Jedi for that. So, Anne, you wished everyone to have some joy. And if you like it, let's have an amen.
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 And Amy, my second cousin once removed, if you could wish everyone something, put the book down. We're losing your whole face there. What would you wish for people?
I wrote compassion.
Compassion. Can we get an amen?
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Oh, and Meg, if you could wish something for everybody, what would you wish them? And I'm trying to unmute you while I'm talking, and that's not working. Can you unmute yourself, Meg?
I was going to say compassion.
Okay, that's great. So let me say, this is not a creativity contest.
Oh, good.
If everybody on the screen, I got 56 people, which is a record now. If I had 50, oh no, that's 56 people in the chat, 36 people, doesn't matter. If everyone were to say compassion, I mean, amen. That's fantastic. So that's why I asked you to make a note so you have yours, you're locked in. Carol Ox, if you could wish everyone something, what would it be?
Freedom.
Freedom. Amen.
Amen.
Emily, what do you have?
Joy.
Joy. Amen.
Amen.
Alma.
Amen.
Tolerance.
Tolerance. I like that. Amen.
We have a lot of intolerance in Britain at the moment.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah. We got extra. Oh, and Marla Kasif, I see you just joined. I'm only shouting her out by audio because she's on the board of directors of Religion Outside the Box, and I adore her. So thank you, Marla, for being here. Wait, we're not up to you yet, Rob. But Rob says health. Now I got to keep track of that. Everyone got an amen on health?
Amen.
Amen. Alex, can you unmute yourself? What do you wish for everyone?
Freedom from worry.
Freedom from worry. Get an amen?
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Patty J, what do you have?
Acceptance.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Amen.
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 And Sean?
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness. Amen. I would like to
Amen.
wish everyone forgiveness. Amen. Joe, what do you got? Oh, you're muted, my friend. Oh, you unmute yourself. I'm going to hand off. Go ahead. Love. Oh, fantastic. Amen.
Amen.
Rob, we already heard health from you. Betsy Ann, what would you wish for everyone? Oh, you got unmute yourself? You got
I'm unmuted.
Yeah.
I have a magic wand.
You do.
I have a magic wand.
Do it.
Kindness.
Kindness.
Amen.
And we're going to see that that worked because everyone's now kind. Marilyn, what would you wish everyone?
I can't follow your rules and pick just one word, so I have two: peace and patience.
Peace and patience. I adore you because you don't play by your rules, which I like. Oh, and I reconsidered, and you're absolutely right. I should have yelled at those kids on the street. So thank you for calling me out on that.
You're welcome.
Peace and patience. Becky, what do you have?
Calm.
Oh, who
Calmness.
could use a little bit of calm? Amen.
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 Sherry, what do you got, friend?
Hi. I have two: empathy and humor.
Oh, I had two Sherrys. No, that's great. Empathy and humor. I was going with Calabasas Sherry, but that's good. We're going with empathy and
I'm
humor.
Delaware Sherry. Yeah.
Okay, how about Calabasas Sherry?
Tranquility.
Oh, amen.
Ooh. Sherry, check the chat.
Tranquility. And Troy, what do you have, buddy?
No, let's see. Peace with me, I don't know. I can't think of it.
I think I'm going to roll with what you said. And how about we all get blessed with a sense of not knowing?
Yeah. All right.
Amen.
All right. Rabbi point for me on that one. Thank you very much. Cameron, my friend, there you are. What do you got? I couldn't hear you. Can you say it again, Cameron?
Wisdom.
Oh, wisdom.
Yes.
Amen.
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 Ruth Bernstein?
Listening.
Listening. Amen.
Amen.
Linda Shivers, I don't see you there. I don't see it. There you are. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
What would you wish
I
for
was going
everyone?
to say kindness.
Let's take some more kindness. Amen. Mike Justice, what do you got, brother? Oh, you're muted still. Hold on. Now you're unmuted.
Patience.
Patience. Do we not have patience? We do have patience. Patience. Fantastic. And Leanne, what would you wish for everyone?
Gratitude.
Gratitude. Amen.
Gratitude. Amen.
Do I not have gratitude on the list? Oh my gosh. Wonderful. Shirley, what do you have?
Perspective. Good perspective.
Oh, who could use some good perspective?
Amen.
All right, Shirley, bust out that magic wand. Give it to us.
There you go.
That was fantastic. Perspective. All right. And I got iPhone there. And then Derek. Hello, Derek. How are you?
Good.
What would you
Gary?
wish for everyone? If you could wish everyone something, what would you wish them?
I think all of it goes back to the one word love.
Love. Amen.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can, I'll take some
Amen.
love. And Susan, what do you have?
I'd like a double dose of empathy, please.
Empathy.
Mm-hmm.
It's already up there.
Yeah.
I wrote impassion. I think that was supposed to be empathy. And Janice?
I would say understanding.
Understanding. Amen.
Amen.
I'm going to call on myself here, and I'm going to just go with humor again. All right. And the reason I go for humor is because I'm going with Anne and John Lax. What would it be?
You can do it.
I say inner peace.
Inner peace. And John, what would you do?
Well, when we started writing the list, I wrote patience at the top, but it has since been claimed several times.
Oh, no. It's okay. Really, we could all use a lot of patience. A lot of patience. Deborah, you're my last video person.
I'm going to go with some common sense.
Amen.
Oh, common sense.
Common sense. Sentido común.
Common sense. I love it. Did I miss anybody? Marla, you're on the board of directors, so I got a call on you. Do you got something you want to add? No.
Aaron wants you to call on him, and also, what about the ability to be, like, to manage uncertainty, like that discomfort and the uncertainty?
Yeah. Oh, I got a good quote for you on that one. And then Aaron, there you are, Aaron. I apologize. What do you got, Aaron?
Equanimity.
Equanimity. That's a $5 word. Equanimity. About being in balance.
Hey, it's Marla here. Can you hear me?
Marla.
Hi. I'm sorry. I am working. That's why I'm not on video. But I just wanted to throw out humor. That's I just need. That's for me.
Thank you, Marla, and thank you for joining us.
How about gratitude?
We got extra gratitude.
Yes, and I wish you all health and patience and lots of humor.
Go back to work, Marla. Thank you for listening in. Appreciate it very much. And
Your sister has a couple contributions: silliness and thoughtfulness.
I love it. Thank you, Sari. That's good. And Jeff, I see Jeff is just kind of on our screen. And you're just joining us. You don't have to participate. I'm going to bring up a quote for y'all. I don't think we did this one. Did we do this?
No.
All right. This is a quote. I made this quote up and I put it in Latin. Well, no, I didn't make up the quote. The quote was already there. I put it in Latin so that it would have a little more gravitas to it, if you know what I mean. Because if it's in Latin, everyone's like, oh, that's a fancy quote. So Here's our quote in Latin. It says, dubium incommodo est, certum ridiculum est. We're going to take that one part at a time. Hold on. I'm going to pin my screen to the front so y'all can get a little bit more visual on me. Dubium incommodo est. Who's my Latin scholars here? But don't be too scholarly and correct my Latin. Dubium. What word do you think dubium sounds like?
Doubt?
Yeah. Doubt is incommodo.
Uncomfortable.
Doubt is uncomfortable. Thank you, Jonathan Lax. You've almost redeemed yourself. Oh, I'm getting a lot of extra noise going on here. Hold on. And then the second half of it.
Certainty is ridiculous.
Certainty is, Jonathan, you should stick with her. So here's the quote. This is a quote. It was said by Voltaire. He said it in French. He said, doubt is uncomfortable, but certainty is ridiculous. That's a hard one for us to get our heads around. Aaron, go ahead. You have something to say?
What?
I don't know. Your microphone just went hot.
Oh, I've been trying to, I've lost track of my screen, so I'm just like, I can hear things, but I can't see anything. I don't know why.
Okay, that makes it harder for the Latin part, but I'm glad you're with it. So I wanted to share this quote with you. Doubt is uncomfortable, but certainty is ridiculous. And there are so many people. Okay, we're just going to pretend it's other people who have this problem and not us. There are all these other people who are so uncomfortable with doubt that they pretend to be certain all the time. That's not us, of course. That's them. Okay, that's really us too.
I'll put it in the refrigerator.
Thanks. This one.
Yeah. What do you want?
Hi, Linda. I'm going to mute you for a second because whoever you're talking with, we were listening in. Oh, have you guys seen? Speaking of humor, there's a whole group of Zoom fails because a lot of people are using Zoom for the first time. There's a lot of little videos of people with their naked spouse walking by behind them during the call. And, so look up Zoom fails and hopefully we will never be on that one. And also for humor, I'm going to share a joke that I just heard, which I liked. It said, one large wind turbine said to the other large wind turbine, "Do you like classical music?" To which the other replied, "No, I'm a big metal fan."
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, folks, I am a dad. I am a dad.
That's a
I
dad
do
joke.
dad jokes.
Very
Do you know what?
bad joke.
Do you know what makes a dad joke a dad joke? They're apparent. Mom jokes might go far, but dad jokes go farther.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna stop before I alienate everybody on the call. If you want to, feel bad for my kids. They live with this. So everyone should have a stack.
Rabbi Brian, your jokes are ponderful.
Oh, thank you, Alex. Everyone should have next to them a few words, 3 to 5 words, and we're going to do an experiment here. We've never done this before. We're going to try something new. Ann and Jonathan, I'm muting you. You're moving your laptop and it's making too much noise. We're going to try something new. Everyone should have a card with some of these words on it, some of these. And I thought to myself, it's Friday. It is Friday, and on Friday nights, I do the same thing every Friday night. And I say to my family, and when I say every Friday night, I don't want you to think that I do it every Friday night. Like 3 out of 3 Fridays a month, I do it. But every Friday night, I say to, it started with just Jane, and then it moved to the kids as well. Every Friday night, I say to Jane something that I like about her. And I thought, I wanted to do something like that with this group, but we all don't know each other well enough. And it makes it a little awkward. So I thought we'd do it like this. In a moment, I'm going to break you up into little groups, and you're going to go into a little pod with whoever winds up on your screen. It's going to be kind of random, and there will be 3 of you. And I'm going to ask the person, and I'm going to ask you to go in alphabetical order. So let's say it's Carol, Emily, and Alma who are all in a group. It would be Alma's turn first, then Carol's turn, then Emily's turn, based on however your name is there. And I'm going to ask you to try, you might want to write down this phrase, you don't have to, but I want you to say something along the lines of, although I don't really know you, for this weekend, I wish you a blessing of, and then look at your card and fill in the 3 words of whatever it is you wish to bless the people with. So I'm going to give those instructions again. You're going to say something along the lines of, Mike, I don't really know you, but I wish you a blessing this weekend of health, peace, and humor. That's an example. I'll say the phrase again one more time. It's going to be somewhere along the lines of, although I don't know you, I wish you a blessing of, and then throw in 3 to 5 words. And then the other 2 people, it's their turn to bless you back. Everyone got do we have questions on the instructions? All right, so this is going to be really interesting as I break you out into rooms.
The instructions are in the chat too.
Thank you. There are going to be 3.7 people per room. I don't know how that works. But there are 37 people. We're going into
0.7.
so I'm going to bring that up to, there we go. There we go. 3 people per room. And we're all going to come back in 2 minutes. So good luck. We're going to see how this goes. I'll see you all in 2 minutes. Did that work?
Hi, sweetheart. Okay, how are you? How'd your neck do?
You're being moved into breakout rooms. Unless you're still here with me, Janice and Emily, Joan, iPhone, Aaron, and Brad. It's just we are the leftovers. Nope, some people are still getting teleported away. All right. First person alphabetically is Aaron. Aaron, I don't know if you can hear us well enough for you to go.
Sorry, I'm on it.
And there, Aaron got whisked away to another room as well. Alma's iPad asked for help. Oh, Alma, I don't know how to help. All right, Emily and Janice and iPhone, I'm going to leave you guys and go help Alma. Good.
Okay. Well, Janice, I don't know you very well at all. However, this weekend, I wish you joy and humor.
Thank you. Well, Emily, I don't know you well at all, but this weekend, I wish you patience and kindness and understanding.
Thank you, Janice.
You're welcome. It's
Where-
nice to see you.
Where are you, Janice?
I'm in Philomath, Oregon.
Oh, okay. I'm in Arlington, Washington. We're neighbors.
We practically are, for sure. This is a wonderful way to get together during this coronavirus thing.
It is. I just feel like lately I've been just going kind of crazy. Thank God, or whatever. I have my neighbor that is just delightful. She brings her coffee over, and she's just delightful. So I wonder what happens now.
Well, I don't know. I guess he'll come back at some point, but in the meantime,
well,
looks like he's back. Almost.
I am back and I'm closing rooms. So everyone's rooms are closing in 60 seconds. It should say that to them. How did that go, Emily? Did it work?
Oh, it was fine. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Okay,
Oh,
we are
there's
coming
Wendy.
back. Oh, hi, Wendy.
Oh, and there's.
Hello.
Oh, now everybody's coming back.
This is really kind of cool.
It really is.
Look at that. All right. All the rooms are going to close in 30 seconds. So whether they choose to come back or not, they're coming back.
Wow.
Is this like space travel?
It can be.
Did you move?
It's more like time travel.
It's working.
I didn't move, but that reminds me.
I'm back, I think.
We're all coming back. 15 seconds until liftoff.
Damn it. Da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na.
Oh, my timer went off. Thank you, Aaron, for the music.
I'm back.
Aaron, I thank you for the song. I've never done that before. Just give me on a scale of here, put your hands at the bottom of your screens, please. On the scale of here to here, and no judgment, just give me some feedback of, did that work? Did that not work? Or where are you?
It was wonderful.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that was
Very
cool.
great. Very great.
Fantastic. I lost
Yeah,
a little.
that was really nice.
How come the one person in my meeting didn't think it went very well? That's fantastic. Thanks, Alma.
Thank you.
Thank you guys all for doing that. That took a considerable amount of thought to figure out how to make it work, but I think we did it pretty well. So thank you all for doing that. And I really hope you took, here I'm going to go into my Mr. Rogers here. I really hope that it wasn't just words of an exercise, but it was really something that you took in. Because most of these virtues, most of these things that we want, there's only one thing that can get us it, and one thing that can keep us from getting it. And that's you, right? This is an inside job. Now, that's not to say, and I'm very careful always to say it, this is not to say that you will always or should always think you should be feeling this way. And I'm gonna break into a Cat Stevens song and say, if you want to shout out, shout out. If you want to feel sad, feel sad. Like, there are times to feel sad, and there are times that, but these are our goals, and we can, I do firmly believe we can get there the more we're cognizant of it. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about mistakes because I said I would, and that was our topic for today. Most of everything that I know about mistakes comes from Dr. Catherine Schultz, who has her PhD in mistakes. We talked a little bit about this. I can't remember on which day, but I know we talked a little bit on mistakes already. The question was, and I think I did this with Emily. Emily's still here. Everyone moved around on my screen, so I got confused. Emily, you and I did this last time, correct?
Yes, you gave me mistake. You gave me.
Yeah.
Send me an absolution.
I did send, right. So it was the first time I had done it, so I sent certificates of absolution to anyone
I haven't
last time.
gotten it yet.
Did you not get the email?
No, I haven't gotten it yet. Emily,
Emily, send me a private email, not in the chat box. Send me an email and I'll make sure you get that. Sorry about that. If I had the wherewithal, I would bring it up on the screen right now, but I don't think
I want to show it off.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Matt lost.
So I'm going to ask a question. I'm trying to see somebody who, Jeff, can I talk with you for, oh wait, there we go. Shirley Wayness is holding up her absolution certificate. There it is. Everyone see that?
Mm-hmm.
It's an app that is a genuine certificate of absolution produced by Religion Outside the Box for one standard share of absolution. And I will explain in a moment how you can get one. Thank you so much for printing that out and having that handy, Shirley. Jeff, can I talk with you? Do you mind?
Not at all.
Okay. I don't think that I know. Do I know you?
You do not.
Well, right. Welcome. Glad you're here.
Thank you so much.
How'd you find this?
I've been part of your newsletter for about 3 years.
Really? Okay, fantastic. And you finally took the bait.
Well, yeah, came across, and these days I have very little to do, so
right.
I thought,
You've been
let's
well,
look at
wonderful. And how'd you find the newsletter 3 years ago?
I honestly don't know.
That's all right. That's all right. That's there are some people who've been on the newsletter, and I feel bad for them since 2008. And that's way before Susan was. That was way before I was a good writer. So thank you, Susan, for sticking with me for a really long time. Jeff, you came just when I was ramping up, and the content's much better now.
There you go. Practice makes perfect.
So here's the question, Jeff. And if you get it, here's the question. Catherine Schultz, the expert in mistakes, she asks groups of people, and I remember I answered it to myself when she asked it. Here's the question, Jeff, and be as honest as you can be. What does it feel like when you make a mistake?
Okay. There are two things that you own in your life. One is your name, and the other is your mistakes.
Oh, I like that quote.
Okay. Other things can be done with other people. You know, they say, you know, good news has 1,000 fathers.
Yeah, bad news is an orphan.
You have to own your mistakes. That's how you grow.
Right. So I love that. So I was at the same conference where I wanted to punch the woman in the throat who said about spacious time. So at the end of that conference, there was this panel, and they asked all of us who were on staff, what is it that we learned? And I made a little bit of notes to myself, and I started, you know, that thing where you just, you get like a funny and you start to laugh, but you're not supposed to laugh, and then it becomes funnier. So I had that little moment inside my head because I wrote down this thing and I realized how funny it was. I said, what I learned at this conference is how important it is to make mistakes so that I can learn, and how ironic it is that I try so hard to not make mistakes. If I know that the way I'm going to learn is by making mistakes, what kind of, like, that's my best way of learning.
That's how everyone learns.
That's how everyone learns. That's how we all learned. We all learned how to walk, by stumbling and falling. If you want to hear me play the French horn, you will hear how many mistakes I made. Yeah. So Jeff, I want to circle back to the question. What's the feeling? What's the feeling when you make that mistake? What's the first feeling?
I think there's a lot of feelings all at once. One
Give
of
me
them
some.
is you don't want to acknowledge it.
You don't want to acknowledge it. Yeah.
Right. One of them is you feel bad for doing it.
So a little bit of shame.
Yeah.
Which would also be like why you don't want to acknowledge it is because I feel
that all works together. That's a whole group of things all at the same time.
Yeah. So now here's the thing. Here's the thing that so Catherine Schultz very wisely says that's not the case. And I was like, what? She says, when you make a mistake, and folks, this is it. She says, when you make a mistake, it doesn't feel bad. It's when you realize you made a mistake that you feel the shame, that you feel the desire. And she says very rightly, it's like Wile E. Coyote. You know, like he runs, and he's all the way out here off of the cliff before he turns to the camera and falls down to the ground. That's how we all are with mistakes, is when we make the mistake, you know what it feels like? It feels normal. When we make the mistake, if it felt bad when we were doing it, we probably wouldn't have done it. So what it feels like when you make a mistake is?
Normal.
Feels normal. Okay, now let's take, if that's true, which I can't imagine that it's not. If that's true, and you didn't know you were making the mistake at the time you were making the mistake. I wrote an article about, y'all might remember, my son walked me into a telephone pole when I had my eyes closed. He was leading me, and he walked me into a telephone pole. That was a mistake. It was not malicious. He didn't mean for me to get hurt. He said, I didn't think you were going to get hurt.
Smart kid.
Right. He felt awful, but he didn't do it maliciously. He just made a mistake. At the time, it seemed right. And the more you understand what I'm saying? Give me a little bit on your hands if like I need to explain that again, or you totally got it. Is at the top. Do I need to explain it? Okay, so I'm gonna just say one more little round. When we make the mistake, like when I chose to talk about on Sunday when I put this thing out, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna talk about mistakes on Friday. I didn't realize I didn't have enough material to spend an hour talking about mistakes. At the time, it seemed like, yeah, I'll fill an hour with mistakes. I didn't have enough stuff for mistakes, which is why we did that other exercise, which worked out totally fine. But the key is when you make the mistake, whatever that mistake was, you thought, oh, I'm going to have a third alcoholic drink while I'm here alone in my house sequestered, or whatever your mistake was. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Therefore, we should be kind to ourselves when we make mistakes, and we should be kind to others when they make mistakes. And now for different ones of us, all right, left hand, if you are harder on yourself when you make mistakes, right hand, if you're harder on other people when they make mistakes. Left hand, harder on yourself, right hand, harder on others. Or both hands. Yeah.
It's also different if you make a mistake and you acknowledge it versus you make a mistake and you're called on it by someone else.
Oh, yeah. If somebody else points out your mistake for you,
right?
That's unfortunately, that's where some really good learning can happen too. But the shame sometimes takes over and we don't learn.
Yeah. Is it against being a good spiritual leader and person that I'm posting such negativity about Trump's press conference and stuff like that?
I heard that we should no longer call them press conferences and we should call them stress conferences.
I mean the amount of like lying that goes on, am I a terrible person?
So you're not, Sherry, that's not why you're a terrible person. I don't think there are any, I don't think any one of us are terrible people. But I do think that at times we all do that very human thing of throwing kerosene onto a fire hoping that it will go out.
Yeah, because I feel like I should be posting inspiring spiritual stuff, and instead I just posted a whole vent about his press conference.
Look, every so often we all get mad. We all have to vent sometimes. We all need outlets. I say be cognizant of how much you're doing it, but also to be a spiritual leader, I think you just need to be honest about, I'm having a really hard time, but just posting light, fluffy, happy, the world's okay. I think that's bullshit. And I think that does people a real disservice. I think just being honest that you're mad, do it.
No, I basically posted how much Pence was kissing his, you know what.
Oh, more than Pence, but whatever.
Yeah, I try to stay away from politics, and I just vote as many times as I can.
Thank you.
Rabbi Brian?
Yeah.
Can I tune in about planning?
Yeah.
So the fact that you made a plan for today to talk about mistakes, and that you realized that there wasn't enough time, but that's not a mistake. I mean, it just kind of opened possibility of creativity of what else could you offer in this Zoom room. So I wouldn't call that a mistake.
I agree with you now. But somewhere on Tuesday, I had those feelings of, what did I do? And I also quickly knew none of you are going to ask for a refund.
I might.
You can ask for a refund. Go ahead. Ask for you can ask for anything you want.
I'd like my money back.
I'll say it like this, maybe. If all of us have the opportunity, we have the best, and I said this when we talked about patience. The greatest teacher that there is about patience lives in you. The greatest teacher on how to learn from your mistakes is you. We all have this within ourselves, but it takes compassion. It takes a lot of self-love. And some of us have a really hard time doing that. And we need a little bit of a jump start. We need other people to help us to see how to love ourselves through these mistakes. Some of us grew up with shame, a lot of shame, and it's hard to turn that script around. Okay, I'm
You know
going to
what
say some of the. Go ahead, Emily.
What I tell young people is make lots of mistakes, because people will say, you'll learn, you're young. But if you get old, see, like me, then you make mistakes and people say, you're a little bit old for that, aren't you?
I don't know, Emily. I hope to be making more and more mistakes. I hope really this. I think that's also why I consider myself to be like an artist, a religious artist, and I learn always from what I'm doing. And it's like, oh, that didn't work, but I practice at this. I practice at. It goes back to what we said about acceptance. Is you got to practice with the small things, and you level up, and you level up, and you level up. I've been working at this for a while. Okay, that being said, I don't want to blow my own horn. I want to do a review of the week. Things that we learned this week, because we'll meet again on Monday, and maybe in the chat box while I'm talking, throw out some topics that you want us to look at next week. And or you can just say, like, free form, Rabbi Brian, teach us whatever the heck you want. Just give me whatever topics you think, and I'll see what I can do. And we'll do this next week. And you obviously, you're not obligated to come every day next week. That's just me. Yes, John Lax, what do you got?
Hey, I'm wondering if at the end of this you could lead a Misha Berach for anybody we know who's sick or thinks they're sick.
All right. Well, fantastic. So remember the part where I said I'm not doing anything too Jewy McJewstein?
Yep.
So I'm gonna do this, but in a slightly different way.
Perfect.
In lieu of, and I think it's a really cool move, John. In lieu of doing our review of what we learned, I'm gonna ask you right now, and let's see how this goes. I want you to think about whoever it is you know who's really particularly struggling right now, either physically or emotionally, mentally, whoever's really having a hard time. And I'm sure we all know of people. If you want, you can add their names to the chat box, or you can just hold their names in your heart. And I would like to ask for us in a way to pray, to give thought, to just hold these people in our good thoughts, and to hope that they all find some more peace, and that they can find that while their body is weak, that their spirit stays strong, or if their spirit is weak, that it gains some strength. And that we hope that people who are, there's a great quote from Nachman of Bratslav, a famous rabbi. And he said this, he said, if you believe in broken, you must also believe in repair. And I take that to mean that anyone who is in some sense broken, that they must also be able to be fixed. Not that they'll come back to full health necessarily, but there's some way that they can be healed, that they can be fixed. And I hope that can satisfy as a prayer. And I ask everyone to give an amen.
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 Thank you for asking and throwing me on the spot, Mr. Screen Sharer.
Yeah, John, go blue.
Oh, thank you. Go blue to you as well.
And we got secret clubs happening. This is going well.
He's from Michigan.
I gotcha.
Go Duke.
So let me ask this. Let me ask this as we finish up. What's one thing you're going to take with you that you learned that you're going to hold with you this weekend? I'll take 3 answers. Janice, what do you got? What's something that you're taking this week from our discussions that you're going to take with you into this weekend?
Well, I'm taking the list of the things we made, because I also wrote them down.
Good.
And I'm going to contemplate them.
Good. I'm going to ask you to do even more than contemplate them. And this goes for everybody. I'm going to ask you, take that list and dare you. I'm going to double dog dare you to send a text message, send a email, or if you got it in you, to pick up the phone and say to someone, I wish for you this weekend, and throw in some things.
I love it, Brian. I love it.
Let's do it. Who's willing to commit to that? Okay, I'm going to make this even harder. take out your phone right now.
Uh-oh.
Go to your texting app. Pick
Go to
a
what?
person. Go to a texting app, or you can go in your
Won't I
email.
lose you if I do that?
I don't know. Or you promise to do it, or go to email, go to whatever other technology. Pick a person, scroll down, pick a person, whoever you land on. Oh, I'm going to say it to Karen. I wish you a weekend of, let me look at my list, of peace, love, and joy. Bam. Just sent that to Karen. I wish you a weekend of peace, love, and joy. Can we all do that? Everyone sent. I think that's better. Oh, okay. One of you gets bonus points because you just sent it to me. Calling out who that was, but that was a smooth move. Nicely done. Okay, folks. I think that's the best way of wrapping
Siblings
it up.
don't count.
Whatever you want to do. I will also say, you know what I learned this week? I learned kind of that, I can't remember the Kevin Costner movie with the baseball field, Field of Dreams.
Right.
Folks, I had no idea what the heck I was doing. I was like, hey, virtual community, let's do it. And I didn't know how this was going to work. I've never done this before. And what I learned again was people are filled with love, and they want to be vessels of love. They want to be able to do this. And I thank you all for joining me. I'm going to tear up here. I'm so blessed to be able to be this guy, to be able to help you remember that we're all in this together, and we all need to be pushing this out to each other.
Rabbi.
I'm going to unmute everybody, and as soon as I can find the button to do that, let you all say goodbye to each other. And whoever's here on Monday is here on Monday.
Janet.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, and thank you,
Bye.
Rabbi.
Everybody, have a joyous weekend.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Wonderful
Hi,
weekend.
Sean.
Hugs,
Thank you.
blessings.
Hi, Sean. Bye, Betsy.
Bye.
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 Emily, can you
Hi,
send me a
Marcus.
private message so I can get your email again?
Thank you so much, you guys.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, I just sent you a private message with my email address.
I just texted Marcus.
Hey, yay.
Anybody's welcome to text me. And I'm here to talk. If anybody needs anything.
Who is that talking?
Marcus.
Meditation helps people gain clarity and calm, but the instructions on how to meditate are often constricting, confusing, boring, well, they suck. I'm Rabbi Brian Zachary Mayer, and this is Meditation is Magic. Join as I teach Stallion and Dragon a bit about mindfulness and the 4-letter secret to meditation. Have you ever thought, I wish meditation were as simple as magic? Now it is. Meditation is magic.
Meditation is Magic is parental advisory, explicit content. Teens make certain to advise your parents. I want to learn meditation with Meditation is Magic. It's explicit, fancy word for clear. Also, the horse dropped the F-bomb.